Welcome to Wisdom Time. Today, we're jumping into a huge question, one that really gets to the core of who we are. How much of you is you, and how much is just everything and everyone that came before you? Let's get right into it.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Are we just acting out a script that was written generations ago, shaped by a culture, a family, a history that we had zero say in? Or is there a way to actually break free from that and carve out our own spiritual path? It's a heavy one for sure, but ancient wisdom has a lot to say about it. This ancient verse, wow, it just gets right to the heart of our dilemma, doesn't it? It talks about a community that's heedless, completely unaware, and it connects that directly to the fact that their ancestors were never given a clear message. This tells us that the past has a powerful, lingering grip on the present.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to unpack what it even means for ancestors to be unwarned. Then, we'll see how that legacy gets stamped onto us. After that, the good part, we'll talk about how to break free. And we'll wrap it all up by tackling that huge question, is this whole system even fair?
Okay, let's dive into our first section. To really get the impact of this, we first have to understand the main concept. What exactly does the source material mean when it uses the word warning?
The term is divine warning. Now don't think of it as just a threat, like watch out. It's more like a spiritual wake-up call. A clear message of truth and guidance that a community receives so they know which way is up. And according to the sources, this wake-up call comes through two main channels. The first way is super direct. A prophet is sent to a community bringing a fresh, divine message. Simple enough. The second way is all about preservation. After the prophet is gone, you have righteous, knowledgeable scholars who act like guardians of that message, passing it down authentically so it doesn't get twisted over time. And this is the key. When a society doesn't have a living prophet or those authentic scholars to carry the torch, a spiritual vacuum forms. And what fills that vacuum? Well, the old ways. The customs, traditions, and beliefs of the past, good, bad, or ugly, are just inherited, passed down without question. So if the past just gets passed down, how does that actually happen to us as individuals? How does that imprinting process work? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the incredible, undeniable power of nurture in shaping our entire world.
We don't pop into the world with a bunch of pre-installed beliefs. We arrive with this amazing capacity to learn. Our minds are like these super absorbent sponges, just designed from day one to soak up everything from our environment. It's fundamental to how we work.
This famous saying just nails the idea perfectly. The source material tells us that Fitrah means we're born with this neutral, natural disposition. Think of it like our factory settings, a clean slate with a built-in ability to recognize what's true. But it's our environment, our parents, our society that takes that raw potential and shapes it into a specific identity.
Now, you might be thinking, why are we designed like this? It seems kind of risky. Well, let's look at the other options. If we were born like angels, knowing only good, there's no test, no real choice. If we were born knowing nothing and couldn't learn from others, every single generation would have to reinvent the wheel. So our ability to learn socially is this incredible gift. But yeah, it comes with a serious vulnerability.
And we absorb everything. This isn't just about learning which fork to use. We learn our language, which itself shapes how we think. We learn social norms, how to survive, what's right and wrong, and ultimately our entire perception of what is true and what isn't. This stuff runs deep.
So here's the bottom line. If a child grows up in a society where a warped view of the world is just how things are, that warped view will feel completely normal to them. And when they finally do encounter the actual truth, it might seem weird or foreign or even like a threat.
Okay, I know this might all sound a little bit bleak, like we're just helpless robots programmed by our past. But that is not the whole story. Not even close. This is where the whole narrative flips. We've talked about the power of conditioning. Now let's talk about the incredible power of your own will to break free.
And that's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? If the currents of our society are pushing us so hard in one direction, how can one person possibly hope to swim against them? Is it even possible? Well, the source material gives a resounding yes, and it even gives us a strategy.
Here they are, the two master keys. First, you have to consciously change your surroundings. Go find good people, a new community, a positive environment that can show you a different way of seeing things. And second, and this one is absolutely crucial, you have to get over your own pride. That little voice that says, oh, I already know all this, is the biggest lock on the door. Humility is what opens you up to real change.
Exploring these ideas about real personal growth is what we're all about here.
So if you're getting something valuable out of this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss what's next.
And to take this idea of personal power even deeper, the source material makes this really powerful distinction. On one hand, you've got innate feelings, like hunger. They come from your body. You can't just abandon hunger, right? But you can control it. You can direct it. But then you have learned emotions, like greed or envy. These aren't baked into you. You absorb them from the world. And here's the amazing part. Anything that is learned can be unlearned. It can be completely let go of.
All of this brings us to our final and maybe the most critical section of all. We've seen just how powerful our environment is. So, how can it possibly be fair for God to judge us when our starting points in life are so wildly different? Let's just put the question out there plain and simple. Picture two people. One is born into a great, supportive family, has access to all the right knowledge. The other is born into a society that's totally lost, where falsehood is just normal. Is it really just to hold both of them to the exact same standard? Well, the answer lies in understanding this massive difference between two words, equality and justice. See, equality means everyone starts at the exact same line, but divine justice is totally different. It means everyone is judged based on their own unique starting line and what they did with what they were given from that specific point. So the main takeaway is this: God's justice is perfectly personalized. The final evaluation takes absolutely everything into account. Your family, your society, how hard your struggles were, the pressures you were under, and the choices you made with the free will you had. It's a completely custom-tailored judgment. And this profound statement just seals the deal. This is a direct quote from God where he himself says he has made injustice forbidden for himself. I mean, if the source of all reality forbids injustice for himself, then we can be absolutely certain that his system is the very definition of fair.
And so, we end by turning this whole conversation back to you. We're all products of our circumstances, for sure, good and bad. We all have a starting line, but we also have free will. The ultimate question isn't just about where you started, it's about where you're going. Knowing your own unique circumstances, what path is your free will paving for you today?